A common question that you may come across on the internet is, why do we always see the same side of the moon? Well, this video will explain this phenomenon, and in order to understand why it always faces the same way, we must look at the structure of the moon and the mechanism that locks the moon gravitationally onto Earth's structure. The moon is locked onto Earth's orbit because of the gravitational and electromagnetic attraction and repulsion, or the pull and push force between the moon and the Earth. The moon is split electromagnetically in a symmetrical manner, which creates two magnetically opposed mirror image half-spheres that simultaneously pull and push, or attract and repel, gravitationally on planet Earth, while the moon's half-spheres push on each other. This effect creates a two-way gravitational grip, locking the moon on the planet's structure and locking it on an orbital rotation around Earth. The moon's half-sphere facing towards Earth, the near side, is pushing outward or repelling away from the planet gravitationally and electromagnetically, and the half-sphere that's on the opposite side, or the far side to the Earth, is pulling or attracting toward the planet, which keeps it locked on Earth's structure. Earth's moon has two axes: a north-south vertical pole axis in parallel to Earth's magnetic poles locked onto Earth's north and south polarities, and Earth is also locked in parallel on the solar system polarity, similar to the other planets in our solar system. A second axis, perpendicular to the first axis, points to Earth and locks it onto Earth's central structure, creating a two-way gravitational electromagnetic grip. Earth's moon does not spin on its own axes, but rather it orbits Earth, which spins on its axis while orbiting the Sun. From an observational perspective of the moon and the Sun, it would seem that the moon is spinning on its vertical axis in relation to the Sun. However, it is a visual illusion because the moon is locked onto Earth on two axes: a vertical axis in parallel to Earth's magnetic poles axis, and a second perpendicular axis locked onto Earth's center structure, which keeps it from spinning on any of its two axes. It is Earth that is spinning on its own axis while in orbit around the Sun. The moon is locked in and rotates on Earth's axis and not its own vertical axis. Due to the moon's north-south pole axis being in parallel and locked onto Earth's northern and southern poles, and the second perpendicular axis of the moon being locked onto the central structure of the Earth, this keeps the moon from spinning on either of its two axes. Thus, the correct explanation why the moon always faces Earth on the same side and does not rotate in any direction. This is why we only see the same side of the moon from Earth. And it can be observed that all symmetrically spherical satellites or moons in our solar system are locked in a second perpendicular axis on their respective orbited planet, in the same manner as Earth's moon. This causes them to always face their planets on the same side. Most moons are split magnetically and have one or two axes. It can be observed that some of Saturn's moons are walnut-shaped, due to the polarity split in the middle of the sphere, creating two magnetically opposed symmetrical half-spheres. Although most moons are locked in orbit the same way, there could be variations in their size, magnetic splitting, layout, and the number of axes. It can also be observed that the moons that are not spherically symmetrical or irregularly shaped have irregular spins and orbits due to the imbalance in the magnetic layout and polarization. Because of their unusual shape, they do not and cannot have two symmetrical or mirror image half-spheres, causing the unusual spins and orbits because of the weight and uneven mass distribution. These irregular shaped satellites probably only get a dipole polarization, because a quadrupole configuration needs a symmetrical body. Also, these satellites were probably asteroids that were captured and then locked in on a planet's orbit as moons.